In 1991, Vasile Gorgos, who was 63 at the time, was a farmer and cattle seller in the eastern countryside of Romania. Vasile, like numerous times before, told his family he was leaving town for a few days on a quick business trip, as he often went to the markets in various cities of Romania to trade. At this point of Vasile's life, he had completed the same trip dozens of times, and he would always travel by the train. What they didn't know about this particular trip is that it wouldn't end with him returning home. When Vasile didn't return home on the day of his return ticket, and having not heard from him, his family reported his disappearance to the police. Initial investigations did not yield any encouraging results. 1 day passed, 2 days, days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. It was ultimately determined by police that Vasile was most likely a victim of robbers. The villagers held a memorial service for Mr. Gorgos, and his family assumed that the worst had happened. Vasile's family regularly held a memorial service for him, but a lot of questions never got answered. Was there foul play? Why weren't there any clues? Leads? What happened to their dad? At least some of these questions would be answered, but they would have to wait 30 years. On a quiet afternoon on Sunday, August 29th, 2021, an unknown vehicle suddenly stopped in front of the Gorgos family home, the same house where Mr. Gorgos lived 30 years ago, and an old man stepped out. It was Vasile Gorgos. The car sped away immediately. Unfortunately, some neighbors who witnessed the scene were too shocked to remember the license plate or what the driver looked like. Vasile was wearing the exact same clothes he wore 30 years ago on the day he left, with his train ticket for his business trip still in his pocket. After a thorough medical examination, doctors can only conclude that Vasile is in good health. He can perfectly remember his family, his home, everything he knew 30 years ago, but he doesn't remember anything from the past 30 years. Except for some neurological issues, nothing extraordinary for a man of his age, they can't find any medical problems. When asked by reporters and relatives where he had been all these years, Mr. Gorgos simply said, "I am home." Mr. Gorgos' family has reached out to the authorities for help to uncover the truth of this mysterious mystery, but up to this point, the disappearance and reappearance of Vasile Gorgos is still unsolved.